lives. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. Happy evening, afternoon, whatever area of the world that you are currently in. I'm pulling something up here. Hi, Gear. Richard Gear. You better be here. This is your suggestion. Now, Amber, and I appreciate it. I don't know how well I'm going to do on this topic. I'll do the best that I can. But I think it'd be a great idea to have, a couple times a month that we do a Grapevine reading. If you come across readings and stuff and you want me to cover them, I mean, I may not be like, whoo, boy, that was great, but I'll do the best that I can. Hi, Michelle. It's good to see you. Ingrid is laying down, so grief. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. So before we get started, and we'll get into this is hey Chris, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. We all go through a certain type of grief when we get here, okay? And it's twofold. It's twofold because there are two things dying, in a sense, okay? One is alcohol. One is alcohol. Losing our best friend. You may feel grief around that, right? What is the other place that you might feel grief? The other place that you might feel grief is when we decide to give everything over to God. Hi, Patricia. Good evening. All right. So when we get to that third step and we've decided that we are willing to go to any lengths, and then when we actually turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God, the death of the old person arises. And you may miss that person. You may miss that person. Not all the qualities of me when I was drinking were bad. Not all of them were good. Okay. There's probably more on the cons than the pros when I first came into the program. That's different now. So we're going to be grieving the loss of ourselves. The loss of our old life, man. We were used to that life. And so it could be hard to start over. It can. So again, this reading was suggested by Amber. She asked me that I read this, and it's a text, so I gotta. I feel like I only have like half of it here, but I don't think she would do that. So this is about a man who just lost his wife. He has been in the program for a little while, but he just lost his wife. So let's read on it. I didn't speak at the meeting. I was just there, right where I needed to be. I felt safe, as I always do at an AA meeting. When the meeting finished, a friend came over and I told him I needed to talk. I explained in detail what happened earlier that day, and he just listened. He told me he loved me, and if that I needed anything at all to call. I went home and got ready for bed. I looked in the mirror and barely recognized myself. I was a mess. I looked like I did when I went to my first AA meeting 40 years before. I realized that there's a distinct similarity in my feelings, emotions, and the way that I react mentally and physically to how I felt in my first few weeks of sobriety. Back then, I had a difficult time sleeping. I was irritable and had big mood swings. One moment I seemed to be normal, the next I was an emotional mess. I had a hard time concentrating on anything. I remember thinking, is this going to last forever? I couldn't eat much. Then I couldn't stop eating. I wondered how would I ever be able to function socially. Then came all the firsts. So, we talk about the yets, but about firsts. So, I don't think that's where we're supposed to be going with that. So, I'm going to wait to see what happens. Those early days of sobriety were so similar. Those early days of sobriety were so similar to how I felt after the loss of my wife. The difference now is that I know I can walk through this. I've done it before. If I rely on the members I trust most, people who know me, I can lean on my higher power and my family and friends in and out of the program. I use the steps to help maintain my sobriety and my sanity, and I can get through this without a drink a day at a time. Okay. I've lost a lot of people in the program. Yeah. It's not, and so let's put this a couple of different ways. There's been a lot of death in my life, some in family, some it is what it is. And then there's been a lot of people that I've known that have died from the disease. Okay. I also know a whole bunch of people that died sober. That too. Right. I was told in AA, if you need heart surgery, don't go to your sponsor, go to the heart surgeon. So I'm also getting professional help because that's what I've been taught in AA. Okay. Now, are we going to help you and love you and do what we can in AA? Yes, we are. Right? But some outside help, maybe a grief group, would be good because we all know that peer-to-peer seems to work best for us, right? So sometimes we're going to need to seek outside help. Okay? Therapy, a pastor. I have a pastor I rely on now. It's weird. I really, really want my therapist back. I think it's going to happen this week. I'm going to finally get my therapist, and I better get mine back, or Dion will throw a fit. I will throw a fit. It allowed me to be there for my wife, to help me be emotionally present and do what was required to keep her as content and comfortable as possible, as well as keeping me sober and sane. This grief is going to be a trudge, I've been told. But with AA and the help of my family friends, sponsor, bereavement counselor, and my higher power, we can get through this together. Just like members helped me get through my first years of sobriety. Anonymous, Rancho Cordova, California. Grapevine, when grief comes after losing his wife, an old timer knows what to do. Reach out to help. Reach out for help like a beginner again. Yeah. Why is that? Because in a sense you are beginning again. Maybe not the program, but we talk about this trudge a lot, and it is a trudge. Okay. But the thing is, we don't trudge alone. You don't trudge alone. No, we do that together. We walk through the muck together. Sometimes one of us falls down and it takes a couple of us to pick you back up. Maybe we need to rest at a spot for a little bit, but we're going to get through this together. Okay. It takes a tribe to get somebody and keep somebody sober. It takes a tribe. Okay. It's good that we have a sponsor. It's good that we have closed mouth friends. Do you have somebody that you can say absolutely anything to without any repercussion? That's a big one for men. See, sometimes, actually, and it's been a long time since I've had to do it, but in the beginning of my sobriety, man, there were times I needed to just yell and fucking scream until it was off my chest. I didn't mean any of it. I just needed it gone. And of course we have our stages of grief, which I did not put up. But I really like that one because what he was saying, it's about the fellowship. It really is. It's about the fellowship. Let's read page 164. Yep, you sure did, Gary. Yep, it's been a little over 2 years now. Still, you may say, but I will not have the benefit of contact with you who wrote this book. We cannot be sure. God will determine that. So you must remember that your real reliance is always upon him. He will show you how to create the fellowship that you crave. Okay. Now, I tend to believe that we do have contact with the people that wrote this book through sponsorship. We are the ultimate pay it forward group, and our sponsorship is what keeps this thing going. Okay. So next line, our book is meant to be suggestive only. Okay, which is nice, but if you can get past it being a suggestion and accept the fact that you're going to have to do this work in order to stay alive and live a happy life, they're not really suggestions anymore, but they're not have tos either. A lot of times these suggestions come to a point where we like to do them now. Like going to a meeting. I enjoy going to my 3:00 meeting. It's one of the one places where Dion just gets to be himself. Right? I'm pretty much myself anywhere, but there I don't have to explain. Like I can go in there and just say, I'm feeling really lonely. And I don't have to say anything else. And they will understand. They will actually understand the depth of my loneliness. Okay. A normie, one of my brothers or sisters, man, they're not going to understand it because they've never felt that loneliness before. So they're not going to know what it's like. Absolutely, Gary. Absolutely. It was actually Amber's suggestion. So we'll give credit to her on this one. It was a Grapevine reading, which I think we're going to start doing more of. I'd like to have Grapevine meetings. Okay. I'd like to do a lot of things. We all know that. So we realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man who's still sick. The answers will come if your own house is in order. And here comes one of my favorite lines. But obviously you cannot transmit something you do not have. Take that line seriously. Okay? This is the line that I use for my young male sponsees who think they have fallen in love. But I love her, Dion. Do ya? You don't know what love is yet, dude. Okay? In fact, when I talk to you, I hear you beat up on yourself all the time. You want to know the key to a successful relationship? Be the example. You attract what you are, man. You attract what you are. Okay? And I'm sorry, but you can't transmit something you haven't got. That includes being in a good relationship. That's why we have God. Get out of that. Thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking my cat, but I did. See to it that your relationship with... We just went through this, dude. Dude. The answers will come if your own house is in order. But see to it that your relationship with is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact for us. That's what happens when you don't listen. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely what you find, and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge together on the road of happy destiny. Yeah, I added shit in there. May God bless you and keep you until then. All right. Well, I hope that helped a little bit. I wasn't totally prepared for it, but I did say I would do it. So glad people showed up. I'm feeling a little, I don't know what the feeling is. Discouraged, I think is it lately. And I've asked several people if they'll be on the podcast. Nobody's answering. People don't answer back. Yeah, I'll do the podcast. So, wait, what's a good date? Well, it's, spring break. Okay, they don't give dates. It's just. So I'm a little discouraged at the present moment. And, today was kind of a day where I'm just like, I just don't want it. Just don't want it. It's not always easy for me to do these things. And I'll kind of tell you what it is. I don't like people dying on my watch. I know I'm not a savior. I know I'm not the saint. I know I can't run around and save everybody. But what gets me is I'm showing proof in the pudding. I'm showing facts. And yet people continue to do this. And, when I put effort into a post and all I get is a reaction of a emoticon of somebody crying, I mean, shouldn't be sad. You should be mad. And I'm not sure what it is. and you should be mad because recovery belongs to us. It doesn't belong to the hands that it's in. It doesn't belong there. It belongs to us. And there were a set of people in the program that let this power be taken because they didn't want to advocate for what was right, even though they knew it. So they just let it happen because it's life on life's terms. I take the Serenity Prayer probably differently than most people. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. I know the difference. I know the difference. See, I used to tend to think that I couldn't change people, places, and things, and that just isn't true. I can. I can. You can too. And the more people that there are behind something saying this is the right way, the more likely it's going to get done. The more likely it's going to happen. See, people by nature are lazy. And so they want to jump on the bandwagon that has the most going on. Right? But when our money, our abatement money is taken, given to sober living so that they can go axe throwing and camping. And I understand we need to live life, but abatement is to help stop doing other things. When when I tell the people at Al-Anon, this is the need, and they get pissy, so it is tough. I'm the only person doing what it is that I'm doing. I am the only peer on the coalition. If you want things to be done, if you feel that we need to speak up, there's going to be more grief. There's going to be more people dying. What's worse is I have the answer. I have the answer. I have the solution. But there are people in recovery. They won't tell you, but they don't like this book. And they don't like this book because it means that they have to do the actual fucking work. Okay? Colorado is no different than Oregon, California, and Florida. In fact, we're all three rolled into one. Okay? People keep coming around here. They keep saying, what we need to do, we're going to provide the needs. Bring us your this and bring us your that. And then we put churches in nice areas. No, those churches, I work, my club is what is called the black hole. In other words, there is nothing around as far as resources go. Okay. But there's some people that would literally drive another 10 miles so that they can keep their meeting on Tuesday instead of doing taking care of the needs, which is what they say we should be doing. So yes, when I feel like I'm the only one out here and I tell you I feel lonely, you don't understand. That one you don't understand. Okay? Every day I write letters. I do everything that I can to say, hey, we don't have a detox here. Okay? How am I supposed to go work the front lines with no detox? How am I supposed to build an AA club with no detox? Yes, there are other ways, but that detox is crucial. It is necessary. I'm going to tell you what we don't need. We don't need any more sober livings. We don't need any more recovery coaching. We need 12 step-based treatment centers. We need halfway houses, and we need integration. Fuck your sober living. Okay? I think that any sober living should have to be 501c3, period. Not just non-for-profit, but they must obtain their 501c3. Okay? Now, is AA regulated? No, it doesn't need to be regulated. Are sober livings regulated? No. And they do need to be regulated. They take money. Any person that is in a place of a person of trust, okay, is responsible. Great question, Michelle. That is a great question. Okay. What is the difference between a sober living home and a recovery house? Okay. The first thing I'm going to say is reintegration. That's going to be the first thing. The second thing is a sober living, you pay rent. So you are required to have a job. Okay. So a sober living, you're required to have a job because you got to pay rent. Okay. For somebody that's been homeless more than 2-3 years, you can forget about it because they don't know how to work. You're required to have a sponsor, which I get. You're required to go to 12-step meetings, which I get, or some kind of program. Okay. You have to be on your meds. So a lot of great things, right? But sometimes then they will do things like require you to have like a recovery coach and that you work with this recovery coach. That is where we're getting off. Okay. In a sober living, if you relapse, you're gone. Okay, you're gone. And then you start the program over. A recovery house, if you relapse, you go detox and you come right back. A recovery house is usually a 6-month to a year program where people that are sober live there, but usually stay there. They are not required to work. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to work on their recovery first while they have a roof over their head. But the aim is to get them back into the working world with a driver's license and health care and their own place by the end of it. That's it. Okay. Big difference. Big difference. Sober living homes are usually individually run. They are run by people like you and me. You know, the kind of people that don't understand power and control us. Yeah, those people. Okay. I was in a recovery home. I was in a halfway house for homeless alcoholics. In fact, you see those plaques back there. I made those when I was 19. Okay. A little older now. And what we used to do is we make piggy banks and plaques and stuff, and people would come down, they would donate. And that's how we paid our rent. We never, ever took any government money, ever. We were a bunch of Skid Row drunks following the 12 traditions. What does that mean? The 7th tradition, that we're self-supporting through our own contributions. Okay. Why was that important? Because from the very beginning of being in there, I had skin in the game. I was responsible to make sure that that stuff got cut so we could make the piggy banks. And it worked. I learned some of the best freaking recovery being around those Skid Row drunks. I was 18. Yeah, many years ago. When there were halfway houses, there aren't any anymore. That's like try and find a treatment center. Hey, Daryl. So, great question, Michelle. A big difference between sober living and recovery homes. Now, a recovery house, you've got to stay sober. You may have a halfway house where people are still drinking and using drugs. We need them. You ever hear of relapse? Okay. You're going to be surprised by this, but I do not support safe consumption sites. I don't. If we're going to have a safe consumption site, then you better best have people there from recovery so that we can get them in there. Otherwise, I just feel like I'm a codependent. At least they're being safe. No, they're not. They're using drugs. Using drugs is not safe. Are you going to check their fentanyl for them? You going to do that? No? Okay. No, it's not the right way. I also don't think criminalizing it is the way either. So there's a balance in there. There's a balance in there. Right. So that's why I've been acting weird for the last few days, because maybe it's a pity pot, but you know, I haven't been able to find any speakers. So I think I got anything done. Maybe I should call my sponsor, like I said I would 3 days ago. Damn it. See, seeing what being accountable does for you, right? See what it does. So we're going to deal with grief. That was a good topic, Amber. Thank you. I'm glad that we did that. It always turns into something else, but I do what I can. And I think we'll probably be doing more Grapevine readings. Thank you for backing that. Thank you. Because sometimes people are like, "You're an asshole." It's just like it feels codependent to me. It does. You know? Thank you, Amber. Thank you. Okay. All right. That's what I got. I love you all. Thanks for being here. I'm glad some people showed up to this one. Yes, he does. And he's right here, Amber. Yeah, I'm canceling the 15th. So, Daryl, it's going to be you and me. It's going to be you and me. And it's going to be a hell of a speaker meeting because it's my birthday and I always speak for my birthday. So, it'll be here. You know what we could do? We do D&D. So, all right. Actually, I'm going to call you right after this. So, I love you all. Peace out and have a day.